In this guide, we'll walk through how to dynamically download data from an OSF project using R. For my example, you can see I'm already logged into OSF and I have a project called Lexical Decision Task. Within here, I have a single component called Data Component. And this is where the data files exist that I'll be downloading. Step one in this process is getting an API token from OSF that's going to allow my R code to communicate with my profile on the OSF servers. To do that, in the left, I'm going to go down to Settings, Personal Access Tokens, create a token. I'll give it a name. I'll just use my initials. And for permissions, I'm going to choose Full Read and Profile Read. Full Read is going to allow me to pull those data files we were just looking at. I don't need write access right now, so I'm not going to enable that. Profile Read is going to allow us to work with some test code I have that's going to make sure that our token is set up correctly. We'll see that in a moment. And I have no need to be able to access my email address from this account, so I'm not going to enable that. Let's go ahead and create the token, and we'll copy it. And now I'm going to switch context to my R project. I'll be working in Positron, but all the steps I show should be pretty similar in RStudio. If there's any differences, I'll point them out as we go along. What I've set up so far is just an empty directory called OSF import demo. And I'm going to start by creating a file called .r environ. Within this file, I will create a key called OSF_token. And I'm going to set it to be the value I got in the previous step when I generated the token on the OSF website. The R environ is a file that allows you to set environment variables. And the point of environment variables is to be able to store things like tokens and other sensitive information in files that are separate from your main code base. So if I was tracking this project on Git version control, I wouldn't actually commit the R environ file. I would still need it accessible to my project, but it's not something I would want to make available on a repository. So that's why we have it separate from our main code script. And speaking of our main scripts, let's start to make them. I'm going to start off with a script called auth-test.r. Before we start trying to access any files, I just want to make sure that I can communicate with my profile on the OSF servers. For the code for this, I'm going to go over to the notes that accompany this video. And we're down here on step number 3, test authentication. I'm going to copy this example code and we'll paste that into auth test. A quick run through what this code is doing. The first thing we do is we pull in 2 packages we're going to be needing, HTTR and JSON Lite. This is going to allow us to make a request to the OSF servers, and then this is going to allow us to process the response of that request. Following that is code to extract from our R environment our OSF token, which we set a moment ago. And to make sure that that's available, I do need to restart my session. This is something anytime you change an R environment file, whether you be creating it for the first time or making edits, you always want to refresh your R session so it picks up on those changes. So to do that in Positron, I'm going to click the little Restart R button. If I was in RStudio, I could go to Session, Restart R. All right, so now the environment file should be recognized, the token should be in my environment, and when I get to the point of running this code, it should be able to access it. Moving on is a function called test auth. This is where we actually make the request to the OSF API. And you'll see as part of this request, it's sending along our token. So this is how we're authenticating ourselves with the servers. Now, what follows after this code is just a quick check of the response we get back from the server. If the response includes this string telling us that we have an invalid access token, it's just going to output this error message. Otherwise, if all goes well, we're going to see an auth test successful message. And at the very end, we're just invoking that function and passing along our token. Let me wrap this in a print statement just so we can see the output it produces, and then I'm going to source my entire file. And perfect, you can see our success message, so everything worked as expected. So now we can move on to the next step, which is the code to actually download our data. For this, I'll create a separate script. I'll call it download.r. And once again, I'll go over to the notes that accompany this video for the code we can work with. This is going to be under step 4. And just like our previous script, we start by loading the necessary packages. We access our OSF token. And then following that, we need the ID of the node or the component we're going to be importing data from. To get this, I'm going to go back to OSF. I'm done with the token, so I can close that. I'm going to go back to my projects. I'm going to go to my Lexical Decision Task project. And then specifically, I'm going to the data component where my dataset files are stored. And with the data component active, if I look at the URL, I can see the identification for this particular node. So I'm going to copy this and bring it into the script. And that should be the only change I need to make for the rest of this code to work. As for the rest of the code, there's really 2 steps. Step number 1 is getting a list of files we're going to download, and then step 2 is actually downloading those files. So starting at step 1, here's where we set up our request, and following that, we handle and parse the response. And the response is just going to be a list of files that exist on this node. And if there's many files that we're dealing with, we might get paginated results. In other words, rather than getting all the results on a single page, we're going to get batches of results, and we're going to have to continually make additional requests to the server to get each page of results. And there's code here to handle that within this while loop. The end result is an object called files. And you can see here that we're outputting the number of files that were found. And that leads us to step 2. Once we know the files we're looking for, step 2, we're going to actually download them. The first part of this process is creating a destination directory called OSF downloads. You can adjust this as needed. And then here's our for loop where we're going to go through our list of files. And for each file, we're going to make a request to the OSF server to download that file. And we just have some output confirming each file as it's being downloaded. Let's go ahead and source this and see what the result is. So you can see it found 3 matching files, and here's our message output as it saves each file. You can see the OSF downloads directory was generated. And sure enough, there are our individual CSV files pulled directly from OSF. And of course, moving forward, you could write whatever R code you needed to import and work with these data files. And just for a quick example of that, let's create a third script. I'm going to call it process.r. Once again, I'll go over to the notes that accompany this video. This is going to be the final step. Step 5, importing the data. We tell this script where it's going to find our downloads. We specify the path that we had saw in the previous script. Here we actually list and access the files within that directory. Here's an example just showing getting a single data file out of there. And then the final bit of code is going to combine all that into a single data frame called combine data. And let's source this. And here you can see the results. This is the individual data. We can take a look at that, or we can see the combined data, which is going to be the rows from all 3 files joined together.